As Vice Chair of the USGLC, along with our former co-chair, Sarah Thorne, it's now my personal honor, but also a bittersweet duty, to pay tribute to one of the giants in the international development community, Carolyn Miles, CEO of Save the Children and co-chair of the U.S. Global Leadership Coalition as she moves on to new challenges. Now, Carolyn is many things to many people. At SAVE, she's the CEO who helped guide this leading organization through a major global restructuring and grew it into the essential and reference organization it is today. You never have to guess what Carolyn's mission is. The name says it all: Save the Children. And under her leadership, the number of children reached has doubled to more than 130 million in 120 countries around the world. This is scale, ladies and gentlemen. But to her peers in the development space, Carolyn is a mentor, an inspirational leader, a humble colleague who never lets the weight of her responsibilities get in the way of lifting up the work of others. Carolyn has ensured that the most vulnerable are at the forefront of decision-making, coalition building, and impact across the world. And to me, in my role as head of PSI, she's a trusted colleague. And from her very supportive presence early in my tenure, Carolyn has been my friend. Sarah?
Thank you. And to the USGLC, she's our dedicated, passionate co-chair. For the last 9 years, Carolyn has helped guide the USGLC as the coalition has expanded across the country and worked to maintain and strengthen bipartisan support for America's development and diplomacy programs. She's always looked at the challenges that the world faces as a spokesperson for those in need and an advocate for the power of America's global leadership. On a personal note, when I became her co-chair, it was her steady hand and always spot-on perspective that I found the most inspiring. And I think I speak for Carl and Liz and the rest of the USGLC family in saying that our coalition would not be what it is today without Carolyn's leadership. Carolyn is leaving a lasting mark on Save the Children, USGLC, and most importantly, on the millions of children and families around the world who've benefited from her life's work, and for that, we are eternally grateful. For her 9 years of dedicated service to the USGLC, as well as her more than 2 decades of inspiring leadership at Save the Children and her tireless devotion to the world's children, the U.S. Global Leadership Coalition is privileged to pay tribute to our outgoing chair, Carolyn Miles.
Thank you to Sarah and to Carl. I have really been honored to serve with them on USGLC's board. I have to thank my friend Liz, who, when she first told me about this, I said, no. It's not a good idea. But I am really, truly honored to be here tonight. I want to also thank my Save the Children family, who's here. Thank you. And my family, so my husband is here too. So thank you to him. Many, many hours spent filling in for me over 22 years. But I wanted to, before we leave, I want to bring one other person into the room with us who's not actually here, but I want to tell you about her. Her name is Zihak, and she is a 15-year-old girl that I met in Malawi about a year ago. And I've been going to Malawi for 20-some years. And we used to struggle to get girls through the 3rd grade or the 4th grade. And I met Zihak as a 10th grader going to a secondary school, a new secondary school that Save the Children was opening in her village. She did this marvelous speech, and at one point, in both English and her local language, and at one point she turned to the First Lady of Malawi, who was there with us, and she said, "Madam First Lady, thank you so much for being here to open my school. But in 20 years, I would like to be standing here not as the First Lady, but as the President of my country." So that is what it's like to have progress for children, to have progress for a country, and have progress for the world. And I want to thank each and every one of you who spends so many hours of your day trying to make that progress happen. Thank you so much, and thank you for this honor.